Hey, what is going on, webheads? Roundaway here, and it's that time of year again. New year, new Switch, and you know what that means, new games as well. We already got a little tease of Mario Kart 9, or at least that's what I'm assuming it is. I think everyone knows it's Mario Kart 9. Watch this be horribly wrong. This video is gonna have a lot of things that are actually horribly wrong, and probably outdated. And yeah, one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, and probably the game a lot of people are expecting or hoping or wanting even, is Smash 6, or whatever the next game will be called in the series. I know Ultimate was, pretty much the ultimate Smash Bros, like it or not. Like, it has the biggest roster and nothing can ever come to it. However, I don't think it is the final game. I do think there will be another one, just because basically ever since Smash was a series, there's never like been a Nintendo console without a Smash game, unless we're counting like the original DS and shit, but like we're not. You know what I mean? Like, hey, there's no way back then they could have done Smash Bros on a handheld until the 3DS probably. And hey, Sakurai never said like outright that this is the final game. I feel like this would have been confirmed like a while ago, if anything. Or who knows, they might just port Smash Ultimate to the Switch 2. I mean, well, not port is the right word, but you can play Smash Ultimate on the Switch 2 because it's backwards compatible with the Switch 1. And who knows, maybe they might just add extra DLC. That might be the most likely scenario, but I feel like definitely if they were to make a new Smash game, now is most likely the time, because it has been a while since Smash Ultimate. It's been exactly, oh my god, 7 years since Ultimate. Oh my god, dude. That was my whole middle school career. But yeah, a significant amount of time has passed, and Smash usually follows a similar like release pattern of like around this time. You know what I mean? In terms of years. If you look at the time between Melee and Brawl, that's 7 years. Then from Brawl to Smash 4, that's 6 years. The fastest though between releases was Smash 4 to Smash Ultimate. That was 2014 to 2018, which is 4 years. So yeah, it kind of lines up with like previous like release dates. But yeah, that's basically my reasoning for why I think this could happen. Like I said, there doesn't really need to be another Smash game. If they just added more DLC to Ultimate, I'd be happy personally. And I think like a lot of people would be happy, but I do kind of still want a new game. And I want this new game to be like different from the others, meaning like Ultimate was good, but my main issue with it as someone who stopped playing it like competitively was mainly just because a big roster is cool, but like there's way too many characters in the game. Like, I'm sorry, especially because a lot of characters I don't think should be there, and they're only there just because they did bring everybody back, and it would be weird if they just like everybody except Mario, you know what I mean? Like, for example. And yeah, like I feel like I would probably get back into Smash more with a smaller roster. So yeah, I think I would rather have more characters removed, but the ones that you keep and bring back, you change a bit. Obviously, you're not going to do this for every character because there's only so much you could give certain characters, but an idea I propose would be like, let's say Samus, for example, and I'll get more into this when I actually go into what characters I want or what characters I'm removing, like who the roster is going to be, right? But Samus, she needs a moveset like upgrade. A lot of characters need a moveset upgrade. Like, give her more like Metroid Prime shit. Hey, Metroid Prime 4 is coming out. Make it like that version of Samus, like the new shit she's gonna have in that game. Or Metroid Dread is just right there. Like, you know what I mean? She's had her moveset's basically based off Super Metroid, which was, I'm pretty sure, the newest game at the time when she was added to 64. But like, they just kept her moveset basically the same, and I don't think they really added anything else, even though they really should have. Another big example, Mr. Spin Dash over here, Sonic the Hedgehog. They could make Sonic literally so cool, but they just make his moveset basically, if you want to be technical, it's just based off of Sonic 1, and then they gave him a homing attack, but that's it. Like, he's just Spin Dash guy, and he's been in so many games where you could give him so much shit. Frontiers literally gave him like actual like combat, you know what I mean? You could give him moves from that game. But those are like just examples of like what I mean by changing a character, and if there's things specifically, like even their design, I'll just mention it when I like go over the actual characters. A few more other things, like I said, I haven't played Smash competitively in years, like in Ultimate, that was the last game I really played competitively. I don't really care what they do to gameplay. I don't know like what the new gimmicks would be, there wasn't that many brand new gimmicks to Ultimate as far as I remember. There was like, they changed perfect shielding. They changed how like KO screen is, like with the big flash and stuff. Like most of the things were just cosmetics, and then obviously they make the game faster every year. Basically, you know what I mean? Like faster than the last one at least. And probably the biggest one, they made short hopping like an actual just normal input instead of it being like a thing you just have to like get good at, you know what I mean? Which I'm not saying that in a bad way, because my ass was not doing like short hop attacks and shit. So basically, the only thing I could really say gameplay-wise, maybe just, they're gonna make wave dashing a thing, like an actual thing. Most are like platform fighters have some wave dash, even like the super like non-competitive ones, or like ones that like, it's basically just all of them. Every single Smash clone or like gameplay that's like a platform fighter, right? They all have some sort of wave dashing, and, you know, it wasn't really an intentional thing in Melee, but I mean, hey, they could just include it. I don't see why not. It'd be, like, kind of weird if they didn't. I mean, they could just not, because, you know, Smash isn't really, they don't try to make it competitive despite everything that they do to like make it more competitive than the last one. But yeah, there's two other things I just want to mention real quick that I think they could change. One, stages. Stage morph was a cool idea, even though it's only in an offline setting anyway. At least I'm pretty sure it's offline only, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they could take it a step further in a way. What I mean by this, and this is the only example I could think of, like, remember PlayStation All-Stars? Okay, like, one thing that game did really well is the crossover element. And like what I mean by this is, if you don't know, the stage hazards in PlayStation All-Stars were really unique, meaning like every character had their own stage, right? Like there was a God of War stage for Kratos, right? But then like randomly during the match, the actual hazard would change and another game series would cross over into that stage. So basically there's like two hazards and then like the stage will just randomly change. And a lot of the times it was cool and mostly just like goofy. Like an example, there's a Twisted Metal stage and then randomly Jak and Daxter shit just starts happening in the background. You know what I mean? And like the stage hazards are different. Or like, for example, another one, the BioShock level has like Iron Maiden from Twisted Metal just show up and like disrupt everything. The Killzone stage had like what is the game called? Ape Escape. Monkey Ball that's not Monkey Ball. Ape Escape. Like the Ape Escape, like gorillas and shit, and like monkeys just started like fighting each other. Like just shit like that. My favorite example, I just want to add this, that there's a Loco Roco stage, and then that fucking Metal Gear just shows up, like, for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, that idea is awesome, and I think Smash could really use that. I think that would just be so cool. Like, imagine you're just on a Mario level, things are normal, and then Eggman and, like, a bunch of badniks and shit just start attacking. Or, like, for, like, vice versa, like, it's a Sonic stage, it's, like, Station Square, and then Bowser just shows up, and, like, a bunch of Koopalings and shit. Like, that would be so cool. And then, like, you could get really creative with, like, the fucking crossovers you could just do. Like, Zelda enemies just showing up on Metroid, like, you know what I mean? Now Smash is, like, a celebration of video games, and it's like they want to highlight, like, you know, the stages are particularly like for certain games and they want to give the spotlight to that game or series. But I don't know, I think this is just spice it up a little bit. And you could explain it in the next part that perfectly segues into this, right? Bring back Subspace. I know they said they weren't gonna do it because, and I don't even know if this is like a real quote or not, Sakurai apparently didn't like the fact that people were like, you know, recording it and just like, you don't even have to play the mode, you could just watch it on YouTube. But like, I don't know what they want. I mean, this was back in 2008. The internet was still like, not new, but like, I don't know how else to describe it. So I guess it was a little bit more different, but now like that's the norm. And also like, what if you don't own the Nintendo console? You know what I mean? Like you literally aren't gonna be able to get it or see the game on the other way. But I think Subspace is cool and they should do it. I think Ultimate had the perfect opportunity. That was the game to put Subspace in. I was really excited for World of Light. I think we all were with the fucking cool-ass opening cutscene. And it ended up just being some, like, dumb party mode. Like, I'm sorry, I don't like World of Light at all. I think spirits are a cool idea. Like, the spirit board is cool. Like, where you're fighting, like, different spirits, like, based off of, like, characters and stuff. Or, like, the characters having their own spirit boards, like the DLCs and shit. But I think Subspace is better. Maybe if you want to take spirits and incorporate them into, like, an actual Subspace story, that would be sick. Yeah, I mean, Subspace isn't really a hard story or anything. Like, it's barely a story. It's honestly just a compilation of cool scenes and then, like, fights interspersed and, like, levels in between it. So, yeah, just do it. Like, I don't know what else to say. They should do it. Especially if this console is as powerful as, like, all the leaks were saying. A Subspace in this could be absolutely crazy. Probably the last, like, main thing before I get into, like, why everyone's here is the roster. Dude, my main thing, please, please, please add rollback netcode. I mean, come on. It's every single new fighting game basically has rollback. And I know this is Nintendo, but like I said, if the console is as powerful as a PS4, Xbox One, rollback is perfectly a thing that's achievable, you know what I mean? And add it for every Nintendo game. Obviously, you know, rollback wouldn't be the word, I guess just better online, period. I would be down for them even increasing the fucking price, as long as the online is actually good. The main issue was just with Smash. That's the game I played online the most with Nintendo Switch. And yeah, no, it's like horrible. Even with good connection and LAN, like, it takes one person to just fuck up the entire lobby with their awful connection. Elite Smash, just like forget about it. That shit, like, it's either literally the best connection ever or like you're literally playing in Southern Mongolia. Now we move on to the main event, and the thing that most people actually care about, the roster of this game. Now, this was the most fucking, like, headache-inducing thing ever I had to do. This went through, like, multiple different ways of me doing it, but I just decided, fuck. So, what we're gonna do for this, obviously, spoilers, it's not Ultimate. We're not bringing everyone back again. But yeah, this was just kind of, like, annoying, and I tried a bunch of different things, and what I ended up doing, I was originally just gonna do Ultimate's roster, like, cut in half. It would have been 42, but then I was like, wait a minute, okay, I can't put this character and then that character, and then it was just a big headache. So I took Ultimate's roster and I just started cutting characters. I was like, what characters am I gonna keep? What characters am I gonna cut, right? Now the issue with that, I already did that, right? I'm not gonna believe what, even with my cuts, what it ended up being for just the returning roster, not even new characters. It ended up being 42, literally 42 characters. And that's just who's coming back. And I originally wanted to, like, just have way less returning characters and then a bunch of new ones. But I know Nintendo's not going to do that. They're not bringing back everyone, and they're gonna definitely bring back some characters, because that'd be way too much effort to have, like, 30 characters come back, and then, like, the rest be, like, I don't know, like, 30 new ones or something like that, you know what I mean? So, I tried my best to I'm gonna just go over who is coming back first, and then I'll get into new characters, and then DLC after. But we're gonna go by game first. Okay, the 64 roster, I mean, they're all pretty iconic and important to Smash. Like, it was honestly, I was gonna originally even just put all 12, but, like, we needed characters to just, like, cut. I decided on 3 characters that are getting cut. Ness, Yoshi, Jigglypuff. Now, the reason I chose those characters to just remove is because I don't think they're as important as, like, you know, the Mario, the Donkey Kong, the Link, the Samus, like, those characters are just too important. Like, you're not removing fucking Mario. Like, let's be honest. You're not removing Luigi. You're not removing Link. So, Ness, like, to be honest, Earthbound, and I'm just gonna spoil it right now, Lucas isn't even coming back, so Earthbound is just gone as a series from Smash. I know people are gonna be upset with that, but, like, I don't really think there's that many characters you could play over those two. There's not that many Earthbound or Mother games to begin with, and Nintendo just really doesn't give a shit, and they're not doing anything with it anytime soon. Like, I think we can all tell by, like, everyone wanting Mother 3 to come out, but it just won't. Yoshi is probably the biggest cut character from 64. But at the same time, I had to cut down on Mario characters because we can't put all of them Like, Nintendo, they might try to put all of them, who knows, because it's Nintendo. I don't think they would cut any Mario character and probably add, like, 12 new ones if it were up to them. But, like, I just had to cut some, and Mario, Luigi, and then Donkey Kong, who I guess I'm just kind of counting here. You know what I mean? They're just more important than Yoshi, and then there's way more Mario characters, like Bowser and Peach, that I included. Also, Puff, just because, like, it's Puff. Like, of all the Pokemon, we could do without Jigglypuff, I'm pretty sure, just because it was only really, like, Kirby. Like, that's the reason Jigglypuff's there, because you could just use some of Kirby's moveset and just, like, edit it a bit. And, I mean, she was popular back when 64 came out, mainly just because the anime she was featured in a lot. But, like, no, nowadays, most people don't care about Jigglypuff, like, I think in general. And then, like I said, with some of the characters in Smash, you could just, like, enhance their moves to make them more modern. Like, maybe, who knows, give Mario Cappy or something, or give him something from whatever the newest Mario game will be on the Switch 2. Samus, make her have Metroid Prime 4 shit, and a little bit of Metroid Dread shit. Link, obviously, they're gonna base him off of whatever the newest Zelda game is, even though I'm pretty sure they're gonna stick with the Breath of the Wild series for a while. Like, there's already 2 Breath of the Wild games, so that's probably gonna be the main Link for, like, the next couple years, in my opinion. And also, I kept Falcon and Fox just because they're very important characters to Smash, and honestly, Smash is the only reason why they're still relevant, to be honest. Like, Star Fox is in limbo, and then, yeah, same with fucking F-Zero. Like, there's nothing gonna be done with F-Zero for probably a while, so, yeah. And also, he's basically just a Smash Bros. Character. Anyway, now we're on to Melee's, like, cuts and keeps. So, the characters that I kept were, and yeah, we'll get into actually another thing that I wanted to do, where Echo characters are basically going to be removed from this game. And I know that sounds crazy. I know why Echoes are there, to save on development time, but with this game having less characters, you know what I mean? Like, they're not bringing everyone back. I see, like, less of a reason to do it. And also, they're kind of an outdated fad in a lot of fighting games. Like, a lot of fighting games don't do clones or, like, Echo characters anymore. Like, they're just straight up their own fighters for the most part. Like, I find it hard. I don't even remember what's the last modern, like, truly modern fighting game to have a clone character that's, like, straight up basically the same thing. So we're gonna make them just skins for the sake of, like, keeping a character in, but they have, like, basically the same moveset anyway. Lucina and Marth. Obviously, Marth is the melee rep. Lucina's the skin. I mean, it makes sense. Even I'm not into Fire Emblem, but, like, canonically, you know, Lucina, and that's the whole point of the Echo character, is like, oh, like, Lucina was pretending to be Marth anyway, so just make her a skin for Marth. Mewtwo, I mean, Mewtwo's probably one of the more standout characters to actually be in Melee. Also, personal bias, he's my favorite Pokemon, and a very popular Pokemon. Like, probably one of the most popular Pokemon if I had to guess, so I think he stays here. Bowser and Ganon, like, do I need to say more? And then obviously, for the millionth time, make Ganon actually Ganon. Like, don't make him a fucking Captain Falcon clone. Then obviously Peach, make Peach her own character, and just make Daisy a skin. And if you even want to, right, you can make Peach's moveset based off of that Princess Peach game that recently came out. Like, that would be cool and make her, like, completely different than everything else. Do I think they're gonna do that? No, because that's just a one-off spin-off thing, and they haven't changed Peach all this time, so I doubt they're gonna do it now, but that would be cool. And then the last returning character I'm gonna say is just Zelda. And yeah, we aren't keeping Sheik, unfortunately, but we're gonna replace Sheik, and you could probably guess where I'm going with that, but there's not really much to say about the Melee characters that I didn't include. Like, just Game & Watch, there's way more retro characters, and, like, the word retro, like the retro rep thing, is kind of becoming outdated itself, just because, like, modern or semi-modern consoles are now retro. Like, the PS2 is retro, which is fucking crazy, by the way. Like, that should not be that old, but it is. And yeah, there's, like, a lot of, like, weird clones in Melee and shit that, like, we really don't need. And the biggest one I just didn't include was Falco, and I'm gonna just spoil it too. Fox is gonna be the only Star Fox character, mainly just because like they've been in every game, and then also like you're gonna just keep putting them. I feel like at some point you might as well just make more room for other characters, which sucks because I like them. I like Falco and Wolf a lot, but they're just not here. Brawl, we're keeping Pokemon Trainer. Mainly, we just need more Pokemon, to be honest. And if you even want, you can remove Pokemon Trainer and put them with any Pokemon Trainer of your choosing. Maybe of a different gen, because, like, it's a little weird we're still just sticking with, like, the original starters, which I mean makes sense. It's the most iconic and like probably like the most mass appeal, like everyone knows that generation. But I mean, we're getting like generations that like more people are, they're more fond of other generations, I feel like nowadays especially. So yeah, let's just like go back a little bit, just keep the same idea of 3 characters in one. Of course, you know me, I have to keep Sonic. I mean, Sonic is a beloved character, literally one of the first guest characters ever, like third-party characters to be in Smash Bros. Period. Him and Snake, if they're both able to, should come back. Obviously, I already went into Sonic making his moveset different. Snake, you could make him a little bit more different. Try to lean more into like, you know, Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake is coming out. Give him like more like costumes referencing other games. Maybe like Phantom Pain look, or like MGS4, like the old man Snake. You know what I mean? You could do stuff like that, but like his gameplay, honestly, I think is kind of fun. I don't really know what else you could do. And we got the 2 Kirby reps. We got Meta Knight and DDD. Don't need to say more. Obviously, they're staying. And I'm going to keep Olimar. If this was like a few years ago, I probably would have said, like, remove Olimar just because there was nothing Pikmin related. But Pikmin 4 was actually pretty good from what I hear. I've never played a Pikmin game, but yeah, that game's big. Pikmin's big, and it's, like, still relevant now, so keep him. If not Olimar, just make it whatever the main character of that game is. And then lastly, Pit with a Dark Pit skin. And I know that's going to be surprising. I was going to originally actually remove Pit just because, like, he's like a retro character, and it's like he didn't really even get a real personality and moveset until like, you know, the 3DS games and stuff, which is mainly what he's based off of in Smash. But like, I just feel like it was him or Ike, and I really wanted to put, like, this was a hard one. I was gonna put Ike, but I feel like, because I really wanted to like water down the amount of like characters that have like a shit ton of representatives, so I just put Pit here instead. And also, Sakurai created that Kid Icarus game, so I don't think he's letting go of it anytime soon. I think Brawl might be controversial just because of like who I decided to remove. Probably the main ones being like Wario, Lucario, and even like Zero Suit to an extent, and Diddy as well. I just think that there was like more important characters from Brawl to keep. Zero Suit, like, there's not really a reason to keep her around when you have like Samus and Ridley. And a little bit later, I decided to remove Wario just because I know he's still, like, there's still WarioWare games being made, but I feel like out of every Mario character that's been in Smash, I think you could kind of remove him. Like, I think there's a bit more popular characters, or at least characters that I think Nintendo cares about more than Wario, if, like, that's the only way to put it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like we could remove him. Yeah, we're gonna, like, speed it up a little bit. Smash 4 Bayonetta, obviously, it's, like, one of the most, like, recognizable and like the winner of the Smash ballot, like at least at the time, even though that wasn't the true winner, she was like the runner-up character, but still, you know what I mean, important, big, like basically a Nintendo exclusive franchise now. Make her look more like Bayonetta 3, give her maybe a few new moves or something, but they don't even have to, they could just change her design. Pac-Man, it's Pac-Man, what else do I say, iconic gaming character. Like, it would be weird if he wasn't in this game, actually, you know what I mean? And it's Bandai Namco making the games, or at least I'm assuming for this one, unless something changes. If they are able to get Cloud, he's most likely coming back. Like, you know what I mean? Final Fantasy right now is bigger than ever, and not to say it was never big, but like, right now, it's at, like, its current, like, heightened popularity. Villager, I don't think I need to say much. The first character revealed for Smash 4. Animal Crossing is literally Nintendo, like, one of their biggest franchises, so I don't see why not, like, why they would remove him, I mean. Greninja was literally the most popular Pokemon of all time, according to, like, an official survey a couple of years ago, which is kind of hard to believe. Like, I like Greninja, and I know he's popular, but I didn't think he was that popular. But yeah, he's staying, definitely. Robin, okay. Okay, finally another Fire Emblem character. I'm keeping Robin just because she's unique, or I guess they, them, they're unique enough to like just keep over like the fourth sword guy, you know what I mean? Like they have a unique moveset with their magic and shit. And Awakening literally saved the franchise, so we need at least one Awakening character. Rosalina, I think she is gonna stay over Bowser Jr., obviously, and Rosalina is like a fan favorite, like cash cow character for Nintendo. Mega Man, we're probably gonna keep just because it's Mega Man, another iconic character. The only thing I would say, maybe you could give him Mega Man 11 moves, but I was thinking more just make him Mega Man X, just because, well, personally, I like Mega Man X more, and X is like my favorite Mega Man series, but they'll probably just keep the classic one. I wouldn't mind, like either one would be good. The final character from Smash 4 I'm gonna keep is Ryu. I mean, Ryu introduced fighting games into Smash, period. And it's literally like, you know, the granddad. You know why Ryu's here. I don't really need to explain it. Make him Street Fighter 6 Ryu. Obviously, that design is just like badass and cool as fuck. You could give him like the charging up of like Hadouken moves or whatever it's called. I'm forgetting the actual name. And you know what? Fuck it. Give him Drive Rush. Make every Smash player suffer through Drive Rush and Drive Impact, because why not? And I mean, hey, Drive Impact is basically like Focus, like in the most like basic sense. So you could just do that, you know what I mean? Like for the focus attack. Now finally we move on to Ultimate, and Ultimate has the biggest amount of keeps. That's mainly just because there's a lot of characters that I would find hard to like remove. Like honestly, Ultimate was the game with the most characters to remove because it added the most new characters. And it was just like, it's just hard like picking who to remove because they're all cool. Like a lot of the ones that they did introduce are cool, and I could see any of them really coming back and staying. And also it'd be weird not to take advantage, like, you know, if you're making a new Smash game and bringing back characters anyway, you might as well bring back some of the Ultimate characters because it's the newest game. It'd be weird if they were just in one game, a lot of them, and then never appeared again. Pyra and Mithra are coming back mainly just because Xenoblade 2 was like a very popular game, and I know I didn't include Shulk, but I think they'll replace Shulk. And honestly, like, they might just put the like whatever the protagonist of Xenoblade 3 is, because I hear that game was really popular and it was even nominated for Game of the Year. K. Rool's coming back just because like it's fucking K. Rool, you know what I mean? Like this is like a fan requested character. It was such a big deal when like he got added to Ultimate. The Hero's coming back just because, you know, Dragon Quest is just insanely popular in Japan. Ridley, again, like, we're not taking away Ridley after we fought so hard to get him in the game. Inkling, because Splatoon is alive and well, like, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Steven Minecraft is coming back because Minecraft. Kazuya from Tekken's coming back because it's Bandai Namco again, and also Tekken 8 is like extremely popular, and just give him like his Tekken 8 design. Harry's making a comeback too just because City of the Wolves. Give him his Garo outfit, please, Sakurai. You could even give him like feint cancels and shit, you know, to match the game, or like breaks and shit. They could do a lot of cool stuff with him. We're keeping Sephiroth just because like Final Fantasy 7, like I said again, and it'd be weird to have him and like just, it'd be weird to have Cloud and then remove him. Like, you know what I mean? He's coming back. Then we got Banjo, which I mean, it's Banjo. We fought like, or well, not we, because I didn't really care, but you know, people have wanted this character. He was supposed to be in like the original Smash game. Like they kept trying to put him in Smash games, but it took till Ultimate to get it done. The final Fire Emblem character we are going to have is definitely, at least for right now, it's gonna be Byleth. Three Houses was just a massive game, and even though, like I said, I'm not really into Fire Emblem, and I don't really care, but I will just admit how like popular and massive this game was for the franchise. So Byleth. And this sucks because I really wanted to put Joker, but I just felt like with Joker, who knows, maybe Persona 6 will finally fucking release by the time like you know what I mean, or Ultimate 2 or whatever you want to call this game comes out. So yeah, maybe they'll just put that main character or a different like SMT protagonist, who knows. But yeah, that's every returning character. And yeah, that's a lot of characters, but to compensate for that, we're just gonna do 10 new characters, half of them being Nintendo and half of them being third party, and then we'll do DLC. We're starting off with Dixie Kong, and yeah, we're not putting Diddy in the game, we'll just put Dixie Kong instead because they're pretty similar character-wise, and people have been wanting Dixie for a while, but I don't think they would put all 3 of them, you know what I mean? I think they would just remove Diddy Kong for Dixie. I don't think most people would mind, you know what I mean? Like, people like Dixie Kong. I don't know which one's more popular between the two. From what I've seen, I feel like Dixie Kong is more popular. So that's why I just went with her. Next, I went with Toxtricity from Pokemon, just because of how popular, like, this Pokemon actually is, and I'm not really that into Pokemon, but I like its design a lot, and we don't have many electric-type Pokemon that are, like, playable in Smash, literally aside from Pikachu. But this one's also, like, bipedal to some extent, you know what I mean? And it seems like that's, like, a thing they really like to do with most Pokemon characters that are in Smash. So that's why I think he'd be a good fit. Next, we have maybe an unexpected choice, but I think it fits really well, especially what we're doing with Samus in this game. We're gonna have Ravenbeak from Metroid Dread be in this game too. And yeah, I think he's just a really cool design. He's like, you know, the big bad guy of that game. And we've never really had like a big, slow guy character that's like not just like a brawler, you know what I mean? Like he would be like a zoner. He'd be like Samus, but like if Samus was built like Bowser, basically. I want to see what they would do with his character. And I feel like he could be like an interesting and unique playstyle. Final Nintendo character I was thinking about adding is just Noah from Xenoblade 3. Like I said, I have no fucking clue anything about Xenoblade, but I feel like they would put him in, especially because of how big the game was. And like I said, it won Game of the Year, or not won, it was nominated for Game of the Year, sorry. So yeah, those are the base roster, like new Nintendo characters. And now I'm gonna go into the new third-party reps. I mean, if you even paid attention to the thumbnail, you could probably guess the next two, but yeah, Crash Bandicoot, I mean, like, it's Crash Bandicoot. He needs to be in this game. He's probably one of the most requested characters to be in Ultimate specifically. So I think now would be a perfect time to just add him, because, I mean, why not? You know what I mean? It's just, it only feels right, you know what I mean? That's, like, the big mascot that we're just missing. He has, like, a shit ton of, like, options and variety of, like, for a moveset and stuff. This stage could be probably just Insanity Beach, or it low-key could be, like, Crash 3, where it's, like, the Warp Room, and it, like, just transitions to different, like, stages and levels and stuff. Next, we got Dante, and yeah, Dante, another, like, fan-requested character. He's probably one of the most requested characters in Ultimate specifically as well. He's one of my favorite characters, so I definitely think Dante should be in this game. He just has such variety in, like, his moveset, probably a little bit too much, and, you know, Dante is pretty much broken in every single fighting game he's ever made an appearance in. I don't know what version of Dante they would do. I'm thinking just DMC5, just because that's the newest game. We have no clue what the, like, you know, when the newest or the new Devil May Cry game will come out. So, yeah, just give him his 5 moveset, and then you could just make, like, skins based off of, like, his other appearances from 4 through 1. If they want to fuck around, they could even give him, like, the reboot look if they want to. And then for a stage, they could probably do 2 things. They could either do, like, the Qliphot tree or whatever it's called from DMC5, like, where you fight Virgil, like, on the top part. And maybe, like, you could change the platforms and layouts around. It's one of those types of stages. Or you could even break through, and it goes to, like, where you fight Urizen, like, in that little, like, throne chamber room. Maybe Urizen is just there. I mean, wouldn't really make sense, but hey, why not? He could be like the big stage hazard. Or if they wanted to, they could do like Tame Nagru, like the giant tower from DMC3. Although I feel like this stage would just be like a more competitive stage, like there's no hazards or anything on it. I just think the stage would just look cool, like, period. And then they would have like platforms, kind of like how Smashville has it. Like, I just feel like this would just be like a cool and easy stage that they could just do. To be honest, I have no clue what other stages they could really put, you know what I mean? They're not gonna do Bloody Palace, because Bloody Palace is literally just Final Destination. You know what I mean? Like, that's basically the equivalent. The other games have like way too many enclosed spaces. It's a lot of like, you know, like old castle or like mansion-esque like exteriors. Or I mean interior, so it's like really cramped. I don't really see what else they could make a stage of. But we gotta represent the FPS games in this. Like, that's never been represented in Smash before. So why not better than like the most popular and like oldest, besides Wolfenstein obviously, Doom guy. And especially Doom the Dark Ages coming out, And he has like way more of a melee focus in that game. You could use that version, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter as long as it's any version of Doom Guy. I was thinking for the stage, it could be hell, like just straight up hell. And then the icon of Sin can like come up as like the stage hazard. And if you like defeat him, you could get like the power-ups like quad damage and stuff like that. Or if they do go with the Dark Ages, they could just take like, I mean, there's not much about the game, like we've seen like exact levels, but like that game is just filled with a bunch of like crazy medieval castles and like shit. So you could just literally make like a giant like medieval castle and have like a bunch of like demons swarm in. Those are the hazards. Or even have like a Rathalos style like gigantic dragon, because we know that you could like ride dragons in that game or something. So that would be really sick. You know, since we need more Sonic reps, I'm gonna just throw in Shadow here. I really like Shadow. He's my favorite Sonic character. And I mean, it's about fucking time. He's been an assist trophy for God knows how long. And I mean, they could keep the Knuckles one, just remove the Shadow assist trophy, make him a fully playable character. Like, I think most people wanted him, especially when Echo Fighters got announced. People thought he was going to be an Echo Fighter. Obviously, Shadow has way more moves to, like, make him not be an Echo Fighter. And, hey, the movie literally just came out, you know what I mean? So he's bigger now than ever. He got his own, like, game with Shadow Generations and shit. Like, now's the perfect time to put Shadow in Smash. So, especially because they have Sonic's, like, base kit already, you know what I mean? You could just, like, modify it. And then, obviously, any stage can really work for Shadow, but it's probably gonna be Radical Highway just because like that is the most like iconic Shadow like location and stage for him. Like that's basically just Shadow stage. Or if they want to be really goofy, they could go with Westopolis, but they're not going with Westopolis. Okay, this next spot, I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit. It's tied for a character. I have no clue like which of these would rather get in. We have Hornet from the first one for Hollow Knight. I'm just throwing out, like, I'm just throwing it out there for the Silk Song bros that have just been waiting for something, and hopefully it gets announced and it gets put on the Switch too, or something, dude. I'm not the biggest Hollow Knight fan myself. I haven't even finished the game. I do like it though, but I'm just doing this honestly for my friends that have been, like, waiting for this. And Shovel Knight, because I think Shovel Knight just deserves it. I mean, he's been in fucking every video game under the sun at this point. Why not put him in Smash, you know what I mean? And the final third party character is just mainly a purely for me character. Scorpion or Sub-Zero, put them in Smash, you know what I mean? Like, we have like basically the like founding fathers of fighting games in this game already, and I think the last one we need is just, you know, the American representation of fighting games. I feel like this would just be perfect. And I mean, obviously, you know, they're not like gonna be as gory or violent as they are in Mortal Kombat, obviously, but I mean, they've been in tons of like T-rated games or games that aren't rated M, like Sub-Zero and apparently Scorpion. They're in Fortnite now, you know what I mean? They've been in the Injustice games. They're in MK versus DC, so you can make these characters like not super gory, and I think it would just be like completely fine with them in the game, and that they're too important to not be in here, so I think they really should be in here. So it's like really easy to make skins, especially if you go for like more of the classic design, like how Fortnite is doing it. You could literally just make them every other ninja. Like you can make a green one, a black one, a purple one, a red one. Like, you know what I mean? You could just give them all to referencing other characters. I want Sub-Zero more just because he's my favorite MK character, so I'd rather him than Scorpion, to be honest. And also, we have a lot of characters in Smash that, like, use some type of flame ability, but we don't have many characters that use, like, ice moves. So we move on to the DLC. I think realistically, they'll probably do like 3 waves of DLC. You know, they did 2 of Ultimate, but I'm gonna only do 1 wave of DLC because honestly, this video is long enough, and I could probably make just a separate video detailing like who I would want, just straight up, like no gimmicks, no nothing. But I'd rather save some of those characters for that video, but yeah, now I'm just gonna get into what I think would be DLC. Same rules, we're doing 5 Nintendo characters and then 5 like just guest characters. We have Breath of the Wild Impa, like the young version from Age of Calamity. I figured since we don't have Sheik, we could just replace her with Impa. And also she has like a more like traditional ninja move set, more than like what Sheik has in Smash. Also, she could create like clones and shit. I think that would be like a cool gameplay gimmick. Paper Mario, since, you know, Dr. Mario's not here, And Paper Mario is like an actually unique character that has like moves and abilities outside of just normal Mario. I mean, I feel like Paper Mario probably should have been in Smash a while ago, especially because they are still like doing things with him somewhat. Well, I mean, his last game, I mean, I don't think people really liked it that much, but I mean, hey, Paper Mario is just weird like that. Like, some people like the newer games, some people don't, I don't know. But I think Paper Mario should be here, and it's like, I don't think people would be mad if Paper Mario was added. Rhythm Heaven, like the chorus kids, I definitely think they'll get added because Sakura keeps fucking mentioning it. Like, I swear, he's mentioned that the chorus kids were going to be playable like 8 times, like per Smash game. Like, it was like a Banjo situation. Like, I feel like you should just put them in, bro. I mean, I'm not the craziest Rhythm Heaven fan. I don't even know what the fuck they would like do, to be honest. But, you know, I wouldn't be mad. It'd be just funny. And I feel like it's like, okay, finally. But throw in another bone for Star Fox fans. I said there would be no Star Fox characters. You know what? Put Crystal in the game. Because I know people want Crystal. Like, that's a pretty like well requested Nintendo character, and I feel like if we're removing the other two, we might as well have like one extra, and I think people would actually be willing to pay for her in the game, you know what I mean? So yeah, put her in. And the last one is kind of like a crazy one and a little bit weird because it's technically a Nintendo property but technically not. But I think it'd be a missed opportunity to not have the main character from Astral Chain be in this. Astral Chain is a super fucking underrated game. I've played it a little bit, but I've never owned the game myself, but that game is just too crazy for it not to be in Smash. Like, it's literally like Bayonetta, but you have a stand. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would be such a unique, like, out there moveset for a Smash character. I know people like Astral Chain a lot, so I think it would be like a great inclusion. Now we're moving on to the final third-party characters that I think will be added as DLC. And here, I'm gonna be honest with you, these are just my personal picks. Like, I'm just going straight up, like, I want these characters. Virgil. You know what I mean? Like, we can't, he's not gonna escape this time, bro. If Dante's in this game, you know Virgil's gotta be in it in some way. And I feel like as DLC, because, you know, Virgil usually appears as DLC or in the special edition of DMC game. So yeah, put Virgil in here. It would just be so funny. I could just imagine the trailer, like Virgil just like showing up, dude. Another double dip character, Eggman. We gotta put Eggman in this game, bro. Like, Sonic needs a villain, and I mean, I guess Shadow counts, but he's not really a villain, you know what I mean? So we gotta put Eggman in there, you know what I mean? If we have Bowser, Ridley, K. Rool, Ganon, we gotta have Eggman. Okay, hear me out. This can go either way. Either the protagonist from Danganronpa, like all of them, just swap out like the move sets and just make each one of them as a skin. You play as Makoto and then the rest are skins, or just Monokuma himself straight up. Maybe more Monokuma because it's way easier to probably make a move set for him, and I'd be down with either, but I think Danganronpa fits Smash really well. I mean, I know the more popular visual novel character would just be Phoenix Wright, but I think he's had enough presence in other like Capcom crossover games, especially MVC3, you know what I mean? And I think like the Danganronpa characters, they just fit more because, like, you know, it's way more wacky than even Ace Attorney. Like, Danganronpa is like extremely cartoony to an extent, so I think it would fit more. So yeah, Monokuma / the protagonist of the series. Okay, this one's gonna be like also out there. Demi Fiend, aka the main character from SMT3. And the reason why I'm choosing SMT3 of all things is just because it's the most popular in the series, probably. Maybe next to 5, which it has that in common with DMC, I guess. But yeah, also another reason I chose him is because unlike most like JRPG protagonists where he's just like a dude with a sword, nah, he's just throwing straight hands and like he shoots fucking like beams and fireballs and shit. Like, he just has an out there crazy ass moveset, and it's like, just like I said, different from your typical JRPG protagonist. And like, him and Dante already have some history together, you know, they were both in SMT3. I want to see them in the trailer have like their rematch. I think it would just be really funny and cool, and like a nice callback to like the time Dante was in SMT. And then the final one I chose, we gotta give Rayman some love. Like, come on, bro. He's another, like, big mascot character that isn't in Smash, but really should be. And he needs some type of love, man. They're not making a new Rayman game anytime soon. And I swear to God, he's in that fucking ice still on Ultimate. Bro, if he comes out of that ice in the trailer, that would be insane. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Yeah, this was like a really ambitious idea. This video took way longer than I fucking thought it was gonna be. But yeah, let me know what you think. Make sure to call me stupid and an idiot in the comments for not putting your favorite character like Mr. Game & Watch in the game or Little Mac. But yeah, see ya.